What up, everyone? Shark here. Welcome back to the channel. What we've got for you today is a nice closeout match for the 2.0.5 patch in Company of Heroes. We have the number 1 player in the world, FeriG, playing Wehrmacht, against the number 2 player in the world, Ray, playing USF. These two know each other really well. They go at it in pretty much every tournament. And so this game promises to be an interesting kind of period on the end of the sentence that was this patch. Co-casting with me is my boy Jake, aka RedLeadertoBase. And following the match, we're going to do a decent post-match discussion, but really focus on some balance, concerns, and hopes going into the 2.1 Opal Scorpion update. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so here in blue in the northeast corner, we have FeriG playing the Wehrmacht, immediately going 3 Pioneers, although that doesn't really restrict him. And then on the opposite side of the map, in red, we have Ray playing USF going Weapon Support Center. So I was asking you as we were offline here, what you thought, and you see Ray queuing up an HMG already, knowing that Ray loves to kind of push HMGs, what you thought FeriG's kind of creative build to counter that might be, because he's not someone that is a slave to the meta for sure.
I would say he's got a few options here. Wehrmacht has some pretty decent tools to deal with HMG spam. You've got the obvious early game answer, the sniper. Obviously, that's a bit of a risk, but it's something that can be done. I don't play a ton of high-level Wehrmacht in 1v1. I'm like a 1400 elo player in that game mode, but I've been enjoying my sniper gameplay. I think my preferred way to deal with HMG spam as Wehrmacht is going breakthrough and rushing out the Stas group and assault group as soon as possible. You get 2 of those out. You don't need to tech to tier 4 for your Stas. Your Stas have that button that just makes them immune to suppression and increases their DPS, so you can face tank MGs, and you get 2 stummels, or a stummel and a forward reinforced med truck if you want, that will allow you to smoke off team weapon sight lines, barrage them out cover. So then you've also got Vespas, obviously. There's a lot of different avenues you can take to deal with this.
Well, I like that. I hope we see something along those lines, because it would definitely be different. And it's kind of funny to me. So Ray's gone for 3 scouts, 1 HMG, and now an engineer. I feel like there's both players are being fairly respectful. I know FeriG's known for being very patient. But it is kind of like there was 1 engagement on the flank between scouts and pioneers, and then now we're seeing FeriG push these scouts with Grens. But other than that,
not a lot getting done by those scouts on the western flank. There's a surprising lack of map control right now, especially for 3 scouts in the field. So I think it's about time that Ray commits to his lane a little bit and just gets the resources flowing.
Yeah, and neither player has committed to a battle group yet either. So
it's quite interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, Havoc was talking about this in a video the other day. I think at lower levels, it makes more sense to like choose a battle group early, have a plan, maximize the use of the battle group in the early game. But I think at this level, because there's such like the players know each other so well, these guys face off in tournaments all the time, so they probably just want to build as much flexibility in their planning as possible.
Yeah, at the highest level, you want to be able to respond to whatever the opponent meets you with. You want an answer for that. You don't really want to get marred down in a very hyper specific build, which is a little bit more difficult in CoH3 than it was in CoH2, because there are so many 0 CP units that incentivize locking into a battle group straight away. So it kind of will allow you to see a different early game playstyle at the top level if you're going to see that sort of I am waiting to respond to my enemy's strategy type playstyle.
Yeah. This maneuver from FeriG to get the Grens out of suppression and have them build cover, like, that was really, really impressive. And then he tries to go for flank. Ray read the whole thing out, though. Second machine gun in position to snuff out the flank. That is just like really, really well done micro across the board from both players. FeriG to manage it. Go ahead.
FeriG was grabbing an opportunity from almost nothing, and Ray was ready to respond to a threat that he probably didn't even know was there. You just smell it.
Just like feel, yeah. It's one of those things that, like, a lot of times you get hit with an MG and you're like, oh, I should just retreat, get my squad back. But to have the presence of mind to be like, oh, I'm right on the edge of the arc. Let me scoot around and use the building for cover. Pretty smart.
One of my favorite things to do with Dak is to scoop up a P-Gren that's being suppressed with a 250 before they get pinned. They never expect it. They never expect it.
Well, plus they don't take any damage either.
Nope. And if you got the Vet 1 250, then you're actively healing in combat now.
Yeah. So Ray, yeah, because healing in combat isn't broken. Shock battle group. So Ray going infantry support center, FeriG going Luftwaffe company.
Gonna see a flak 30.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Flak 30, you know, I guess could counter an MG face to face. But like USFMG with the damage reduction is still just so nasty. Oh, Ray, and now mine's going down, but Ray getting a third MG out. This is
camping in the woods, man.
This is the problem.
These players play to win.
Yeah. Yeah, the MG spam, like, no riflemen, just MGs as main lines. And then, oh, now this is really smart from Ray, keeping his scouts with the MG.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Grens can't even shoot back. So
nope.
That line of sight's brilliant.
Yeah, a scout escorting your MG is always a good idea.
Yeah. And then on the opposite side of the map, we see engineers. It looks like a hold up or a call out. They're like delivering a warrant. Come out with your hands up.
This is gonna end badly for them. Although MG's here to cover.
Yep.
But it's gonna get forced out.
Oh, yeah, the Pios, and they're gonna hop in that green cover. Yeah, the MG's gotta go away. But still, with that damage reduction, the MG is not gonna take casualties.
Those engineers don't look like they're long for this world, though.
No.
There's the focus fire switching over.
But with the Grens focusing on the captain. Oh, and actually, the captain hits the engineer with the flanking maneuver. Is that enough?
I didn't realize that applies on retreat.
Does it? It doesn't.
Like
it doesn't. Like it.
No.
When it went away, it looked like they were moving the same speed. Oh wow!
It does. I think they do get a defensive bonus though when it's active.
Okay. I'd have to check that, but I believe you. Now this is funny.
I read the tooltip not too long ago.
FeriG is going for a second flat gun, but Ray is going for a sniper. I don't know that a sniper against 3 Grens and 3 Pioneers is really like the answer that you think it is.
It is always a good idea to bleed wear. And the MGs aren't very good at bleeding, so I can understand the sentiment.
Yeah.
The flak 30s are longer range than an MG42 though, so the sniper's gonna struggle a little bit to properly attack them. I'm not sure what the range differential is on those two units, but I'm sure it's gonna be a lot closer of a margin than shooting at a machine gun. Quad upgrade, which is a little unexpected for Ray. I was expecting the 75.
And very late. Yeah, and now I wonder if he's going to regret that now that these flak 30s are on the field.
They're a very potent counter to the half-track. Sniper's not up to much, just sitting in mid waiting for an opportunity.
Well, and sitting in the open too. Another engineer here. But like FeriG, Ray has done a great job though. FeriG's been just fighting to maintain control of his fuel for almost the entire game. So
I think with these double flaks out, he's going to have an easier time holding ground.
Yeah, look at that though. That MG's just tanking rounds from the flak. On the opposite side, flak lighting into that M16. Yeah.
Looks like the flak's having some issues shooting through the tree, but the AOE on those shots is a pretty good answer to the 4 models together.
I heard the sniper shoot, but I didn't see what he hit.
Hit a Pio, I think. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh.
That could have been bad.
Yeah, because the Pios have a sneaky sight range. You know, because they're technically a scout unit. Yep. Yep. And now, FeriG responding with a sniper. Okay. Are we
gonna see high-level sniper wars? Ooh, I gotta grab my popcorn.
Yeah, this is like CoH3 style play right here. Instead of Soviet Maxim spam, you've got American 30 cal.
You never see counter snipers in this game, so I'm very curious to see who pulls it off first.
Oh, that flak. Oh, but it packs up so quickly. It's not going to take
Yep.
any damage from the satchel.
Great reaction time from FeriG.
I'm actually surprised FeriG didn't hit the...
Oh.
Oh, wow, they got an engineer too. I'm surprised they didn't hit the quad.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit too busy microing everything else to get the Faust off.
Oh, is there a lot going on right now?
He's got basically all of his units moving right now, so it
Wow.
seems like it.
You see Ray got that M16 away with just an absolute tiny bit of health. Almost loses his captain to a mine in the middle.
These players are playing on the thinnest margins.
Oh, and FeriG gives away that he has a sniper now.
The psychological warfare begins.
All right, and for Ray, he is locked in the armored battle group, and he has a Scott out on the field. The Scott, that's a nice answer to some of these flak 30s.
Absolutely, with the potential for easy 8 spam later on the line.
Oh,
I love armored. Armored with ISC is you just have a completely busted economy because all your vehicles are cheaper, all your infantry is cheaper. You will be able to outbuild your enemy very easily.
well, and so now with the changes they're talking about in the next patch, you'll be able to get a captain out and 76 mil guns on your Shermans, regardless of your support center choice. So I think we're probably going to see a little bit more variability in the USF builds, at least a little bit more
They may
flexibility.
need to change the way that easy 8s work to make them a more compelling option against the 76 Sherman, because the way that it stands right now, I'm a bigger fan of the 76 Sherman solely for the vet ability and the option for keep and firing
And the smoke
generator,
Yep.
which the easy 8 doesn't have. So if you have access to the 76 global upgrade no matter what, then the easy 8 just doesn't seem terribly attractive anymore.
True.
But we'll see what they do with it.
And, you know, I know it's got a little bit of extra health, and it's got fire on the move, like no penalty to shooting on the move. I kind of think, I don't know, I think vehicles probably need a damage rework, but maybe some of that comes with greater on the move penalties. Sorry, we're getting distracted here. Ray has taken this Scott paired with the M16, and he's really kind of flipped the map control on FeriG. He has both of the fuels now. A second Scott.
It's a tough nut to crack when you have this much area denial, and then the Scots are going to start forcing off, or at least smoking off, the Black 30s. Snipers still haven't squared up against each other.
Yeah, in fact, FeriG sniper just took a shot at the Scott.
It's Captain Miller against the Tiger moment.
Yeah. It's a shame they can't, like, snipe the crew members out of the top, but man, this game would be really irritating if snipers hard-countered open-top vehicles like that.
We all remember how the boys' AT sniper worked out, and nobody really enjoyed that experience.
No, it did not. The white phosphorus rounds on that. It's a good thing there's a wide spread on the white phosphorus. Oh man, this Scott could be in trouble here. It's going to get Fausted, but the flak's going to
armor
actually
holds
face
up pretty
away.
well against the Flak 30.
And flak cleared. So worth noting, Ray's lost an HMG team and an engineer and a scout, and now the Werble is here.
Werble's on the warpath too, just going straight for the base inspection.
Yeah, it's a shame that FeriG doesn't have Vet 1 on this already, because he would be able to just burn down that Scott.
Bazooka squad comes out just in time.
Just in time. Ooh,
The
side
Scott
hits.
on the left flank is in a bit of a spot of bother. The Werble might accidentally discover it on retreat.
Yeah. Well, fortunately for FeriG, it doesn't look like there's anything on the path that can really mess with this Werble. Oh, the
Oh,
Pioneers
this
find the
Werble.
Scott. Yeah.
Yep. Werble could just clean it up, no problem.
Man,
Looks like that's exactly what he's gonna do.
looking at the minimap and just seeing how much stuff is happening constantly in this game is a little bit mind-blowing.
I do not have this level of micro, and I never will. And it is quite amazing to watch these players meaningfully execute as many actions per minute as they do. Like, anybody can, do a bunch of clicks, right?
Yeah.
But all of these units are going exactly where they need to and responding to all the threats that they need to.
Yeah, making
always
good
enjoyable.
use of cover. Like, units aren't getting thrown away unnecessarily. It's hard to call out any specific mistakes other than Ray letting that Scott, like he tried to hide it in the corner and it got found. That's really
He honestly didn't have much of an option at that point.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to even call it a mistake, you know?
Absolutely. But we should see a few more mines going down, I think.
Both players have been putting some down. Like there was, oh, it's already been struck. I say there's a mine there earlier. Snipers look like they're going to line up in the middle. All right, Ray going all in on the USF meta with advanced logistics. FeriG seizing the opposite side fuel, and he has gone breakthrough and unlocked everything in the battle group but the Tiger right now. And to include the STOS 251 call in. Oh, that mine, FeriG just laid it down, immediately set off.
Tragic.
I think the Scott is holding up against that flak a little bit better than the M16 was.
Not a little bit. That is night and day difference.
Okay,
the Scott can shrug off the flak 30 any day of the week, which is why it's such a good counter to Wehrmacht team with spam.
Scout squad forced off, almost taken out by the sniper.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a martyr yet.
Yeah,
because there's only soft AT on the field for FeriG. He has 3 Fausts, right? But he's not going to be able to zone out or punish the Scott very effectively without some form of hard AT.
Yeah, but at the same time, the Scott's not a unit that's like a game ender. It's not. You're not going to dive someone's base with a Scott, and I think it's given FeriG a lot of information about the timing. You know, he knows it's weapon support center. He sees 2 Scots on the field, so he knows tier 4 is coming, but he's got a little bit of time. So if I'm him, well, first I don't know that I'd be able to think that mid game, but I feel like as a caster, he recognizes that, and that's why he's less concerned.
Probably, yeah. You would think that tier 4 or at least a shock unit from tier 4 is a pretty good ways away.
Well, he could be reading out Armored and thinking maybe he's just going to stall for easy 8s.
Easy 8 call-in, I feel like, is such a trap because you have to buy the engineer with it, and it's just so damn expensive.
I agree.
If there's
completely.
any faction to deal with that manpower burden, it's USF, but even still. Friends go down in the center, that's a little rough.
Yeah. They just kind of get burned down by the sniper there. But, okay, so 2 Zook squads on the field now for Ray.
Oh, we can see the counter snipe here. We can see the counter snipe. He's positioned for it. He's got hold fire on. He's creeping up.
Yeah, he's just got to find that sniper. Line up the shot.
Ray is fearless with that thing.
Oh, he just lost it. Now?
Oh.
It's in range.
Out of bounds.
Oh, he just got out of the arc. Oh, man.
That could have been juicy.
All right,
STOS call in, just like I predicted.
That's probably a better counter to Ray's sniper than the Wehrmacht sniper. Actually,
and STOS with 2 Grens on the field is going to work out real well.
Yeah.
You just keep them on the field forever.
Well, let's see. FeriG sniper is still not even vet 1. Oh, look at these STOS and green. Oh, wow. The sniper is as long as you keep the STOS from just overrunning it, will actually do a good job bleeding the STOS trooping until you just merge them with Grens.
Yes. White phosphorus is sort of canceling out the sniper, forcing it to reposition, but the STOS is going to get out of dodge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, there's no way. I was going to say, there's no way those STOS go down. Oh, flare up. Right, so
Stumble upgrade popped.
Yep.
Good to see. It's like this quad.
Oh, this half track has got to be done. Oh, well, the button. I've never seen the button be effective, and I won't see it today.
No.
Wow, those bodies, they got launched straight up in the air. That poor guy.
It's the USF space program, dude.
Oh, no, that's unfortunate. Stumble shot sets off the mine and crits the Scott. Oh, but Pioneer's just vaporized by the Scott in the middle.
This is just a bloody game, man. Like, everything's getting thrown into the meat grinder.
I'm not used to this from either one of these players.
This map and these strategies just sort of demand it.
Well, more Zooks now from Ray.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that sniper. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, he saw the sauce. He's like, I actually got to get out of here.
Yeah. You do not want to retreat in front of sauce.
No. Was it the Ogre Soldaten that got a received accuracy buff against, or an accuracy buff against retreating units? Or am I imagining things?
I don't remember. It's been too long. But that sounds insulting.
It sounds like it's in line with the way this game has been balanced.
That makes me mad just hearing it. But we're seeing a really good counterattack from FeriG here. He's inching his way back into ground control supremacy. And that was a really well-executed pincer maneuver. He's got the Werble on standby, just ready to put...
Oh, no!
Oh, my God!
That is unfortunate. Oh.
Sniper goes down to a mine on the cutoff that arguably should have been triggered by another unit a while ago.
Oh, my gosh, that hurts.
But we don't have a sweeper on the field, and that's the consequences.
How, with 3 piles on the field, how do you not have a sweeper? Oh, wow. Martyr gets jumped by a bazooka squad. And wow, the shot from downtown.
I can't believe it.
Wow. Ray's like, yeah,
Ray's
that was a cool counterattack.
Gods right now.
Oh my God. And this Stummel goes down as well.
Dude. What the hell?
Well, one Zook squad annihilated by Stosstruppen, and now the Stosstruppen press their we delete machine guns button. 2 machine guns shooting at them, they say we're not suppressed.
The funny thing is that tooltip says reduces suppression. Oh, it's immune to suppression. It used to say reduces suppression by 50%.
It's going
now it actually is correct.
It's going to clear both of these. Wow, they almost cleared both MGs with a single use of that ability. Feels like kind of a broken vet ability, but what do I know?
It's unfortunate that that's almost necessary to deal with the current meta. Like, yes, objectively it is a broken vet ability. But
yes.
Also, yes, it's kind of necessary.
Yeah, well, and they just clean up those scouts as well.
Everything that's low on retreat in front of Stas is just dead.
With all the Zook squads that Ray has on the field, I kind of think another Stas call-in, or if he does build tier 4, it really doesn't make sense with the way his current build is set up for him to build tier 4. He probably just wants to flex Werbles and Martyrs into the Tiger.
Yeah, I would agree. There's not much. I mean, the Brumbar would be nice, but I don't think it's worth the resource sink. I would much prefer to see him just go straight for the Tiger.
And against this many Zook squads, like, you would need a Panzer IV train to feel comfortable about moving around the map. A single P4 is just going to get eaten up. Oh, Martyr shot comes in on the
definitely not the move.
What's that?
P4 is definitely not the move with this build.
Yeah, there is a critical mass of P4s that if you get there, it becomes unstoppable, but we are not at that point.
Yeah, and on this map, with the triple Zook squads that you're facing, it's like, you know, if you fully rout the enemy and you go for a base inspection, let's get really lucky wiping all the Zook squads on retreat. You won't be able to fully pull that off.
Ray has been throwing down mines everywhere as well, which is probably why the Werble has felt so inactive in the last couple of minutes. Is because any attempt to dive or clean up units, like even right now, he's just about to run into this mine. Still no sweeper from FeriG.
I hate this map so much. I don't know if I've ever expressed that to you. This is my least favorite map in all of CoH history. Like,
how am I just finding out about this now?
This is the worst possible state of the game is watching players build exclusively for crossing in the woods. I can't stand it. Like, look at this bullshit.
Oh. Well, we're down to just one MG on either side. FeriG stole one. The Martyr with his main gun sighted. Nice. Stosstruppen do get forced off, though. I've heard that the secret to dealing with Stosstruppen supported by... Oh, we are going to see the call-in from Ray. But if you see, like, the Stosstruppen Gren merge combo, the answer is actually to target the Grens. Because they don't...
Yeah, they're a lot squishier.
and once they merge, they get the damage reduction. So if you target the Grens and like then you have to focus on the Stas, and you don't really
mathematically that makes sense.
Yeah, the other thing is like you also don't really reduce the Stas damage reduction because they have the LMG that's doing most of the damage output.
Yep. One model is doing like 75% of the squad's damage, just like the overs. It's a fundamental flaw with the game's design that I've never been a big fan of.
Yeah. All right. Easy 8 on the field. Pretty ineffective in its first showing here, but Ray has got enough resources to get another one out very, very soon. Probably like it.
It's an incredible testament to USF's economy that Ray is able to afford all of this massive army of, you know, disposable units and field the super expensive Easy 8 call-in without struggling.
I don't know if we say without struggling. He's not struggling because he's Ray, but it's a lot of work, a lot of APM, a lot of micro to manage something like this.
Oh, for sure. Like managing the size of this army is an incredible feat, but the fact that he isn't having to like scrimp and save manpower.
Oh, yeah,
look at all these squads.
Yes, you're correct. I have been asking Darren to nerf Ray for like the last 3 patches, but he refuses to do so.
You'll never see that in the patch notes.
My goal, I don't know if you're familiar with 3 Clicks Philip, but
no.
He does Counter-Strike videos and has basically highlighted a lot of issues, and they actually Valve like called him out in a video or in a patch notes and was like, thanks to 3 Clicks Philip, we found this thing. Like, thank you.
That's kind of cool.
My goal is for Relic to mention something that I pointed out in a cast in one of their patch notes. That would be like
very vindicating.
Yeah, that like the ultimate casting success right there. Oh, these Zooks are done. There's no way with the Stas right there.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them.
Well, the Stas actually don't care. Stas are focusing elsewhere. And I'm actually kind of we're not seeing another martyr from FeriG. He's got enough CPs for the Tiger, but
did that Stas squad just run into 2 mines and only lose 2 models? Oh my god.
Normally mines are like the answer for Stas trooping if you can get him to hit a mine on a retreat, but so I guess not today.
FeriG is turning off auto reinforce. Oh, he's doing that for the Stas. It's incredible.
To merge? I thought he was doing it to save for the Tiger.
Well, he could also be doing that.
He's got to be careful because if he merges with these Grens right now, there he goes. Now he can do it. And say like if he merges with the Grens right now, he'll just lose the squad.
With the Tiger on the field, I think it's going to be an interesting. The Zooks are not going to fare well against the Tiger. The best they can do is blind it with the Willie Pete shot.
The Vet 2 squad will do. The Vet 2 squad will do better. If the other squads can get on the flank where they get some penetrations, they'll vet up, and then that'll change it.
Yeah.
Oh no, FeriG loses another Pioneer. There's the Tiger. The problem is, so FeriG's got 110 VP or ticket lead, but Ray's got the triple cap on, is about to get both fuels. So we are going to see an Easy 8 train. I would say second one hits the field. It's got to be like any second now.
I'm surprised he hasn't just gone for tier 4 at this point. He knows he'll be facing the Tiger.
Well, he doesn't need to go tier 4 at this point because like he already chose the call-in, right? So you can't switch to the production.
Yeah, but if you know you're going up against the Tiger, I would much rather be spamming Hellcats.
But MG and Scott just erased from existence by the Tiger. Vet 3 sniper back for heals. Oh wow, and FeriG, just like that, FeriG's on the cutoff here.
That's carnage.
Yeah.
3 units dead in the middle.
Yep. And second Easy 8. Now this is kind of nice that Easy 8 call-in, he's getting additional engineers, but oh no. Stas on the retreat path.
And this is the issue with late game Zook squads against Vermont.
Grenadiers get vaporized by an easy 8. That's another one-man Gren squad. That's not good. They go in for the Faust. They get annihilated as well. Tiger attack.
This might be the bloodiest high-level game I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like, just the sheer lack of unit preservation.
Yeah. Oh, Easy 8 gets on the Tiger's flank. Actually kills the Martyr.
That's a good snipe. I still don't think he's got what he needs to box the Tiger effectively. I mean, he does have the AP rounds loaded. Never mind.
Wow, look at this dive. Wow, one Easy 8 goes down. The Tiger needs... Oh, it bounces another shot.
Yep, needs a lucky bounce and a snare, and we might be looking good.
This Easy 8 snare,
Oh
Tiger just on tiny fraction. It just cleans up. But here are the Zooks. Just one penetration is all they need. The whirlwind goes down. Oh
and
my god.
Tiger is out scot-free. That was horrible for Ray.
Yeah, that was...
Oh man, I don't know how he's going to come back at this point.
Full retreat. He's down to just a bunch of weapon support center infantry. Now that Tiger... Oh, it's being repaired on the move. I was going to say, it needs a couple minutes. He needs to knock down these wrecks, though. And he will.
That's very smart. Yes. Because he knows that he's up against armor. There could be a recovery vehicle.
Oh.
I can't blame Ray for going for that dive. I mean, with the double HVAP rounds, both of his tanks were full health. He was getting a lot of really good rolls in the beginning on the penetrations. Like, I probably would have done the same thing, but it went horribly wrong.
Yeah, he did not get the rolls, the bounces that he needed. Or FeriG got the bounces that he needed, basically.
We're seeing a half track.
You know what you think? 75 mil GMC?
Yep. That's exactly what he's doing. Which, the blinding shot alone is worth it. And with the manpower discount from War Machine, they're not going to be terribly expensive to make like 3 or 4 of them.
Look at this. The Tiger is almost fully repaired. The combination of the Tiger and the Stas Trooper in the middle supported by Grenadiers, like, I don't know how you counter that. Although the Sniper forces the Stas Trooper away. 75 mil shot gets bounced by the Tiger. Oof.
How did it instantly hit Vet 2? It must have absorbed a lot of AoE veterancy.
Oh, yeah. It definitely got veterancy from touching a Vet 2 Tiger.
Huh.
But this is one of my issues, though. Like, yeah, okay, the half track should be semi-survival, but it ate around from a Tiger and, you know, live to see another day. I feel like the damage...
See, the first one's a warning shot.
I feel like the damage from, like, mediums and heavies probably needs to be tuned up a little bit. Some of these, like... I mean, the half track it's a truck, you know? It's barely got any armor on it. It's like the Flak Verling, right? With all the DAC upgrades, it just tanks 17-pounder rounds, and you're like, absolutely not. No way.
I think it feels a lot worse to fight the DAC vehicles than it does to fight the wear vehicles, just because of the amount of health that gets added on with all the upgrades. Oh, shredded with one burst. The 475.
Oh, this is...
Man, it's not looking good for Ray right now.
No, this has got to be it.
I don't know what his plan is. I mean, I think at this point, like, you've got to just bunker down, hold 1 VP for the time being, tech tier 4, and start pumping out Hellcats. I don't see any other way out of this.
Yeah, him going for the 75 mils just feels like a mistake. Like,
he needs at least one on the field to blind shot and, like, discourage a push. But building more is not the answer.
Yeah.
That is not the answer.
Yeah, like, I think either tier 4 for a Hellcat pack, or you just save up your manpower and you continue to invest in Easy 8s. You need, as you saw, like, 2 Easy 8s is not quite enough to deal with the Tiger. Oh, Tiger doing crazy damage with every shot. Whirlwind over here.
Dread looking at this map. If I were the US player, I would be sweating.
If I was the USF player, I would have surrendered.
Yeah.
Like,
with 200 fuel in the bank, like I would entertain the idea of continuing, but it wouldn't be for very long.
See, these 75 mils can challenge the Whirlwind, but you've got to outmaneuver the Tiger. But at this point, the Tiger is just taking up residence in the center of the map. And now FeriG
completely owning the cutoff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna sit here and control everything coming out of the base. He's like,
and everything that comes out of the base is bleeding like crazy, which is really hurting Ray's economy.
Yeah, and like, what if you're these 275 mils? If you're the Tiger, you're not worried about them coming back and flanking.
No,
because you'll just immediately pivot your turret.
And yeah, you have a turret.
Yeah. Like, all right. Flak getting bombarded. I can't believe Ray's sniper is still alive.
That thing, how many kills we have? 46.
Yeah, and with 260 total casualties, now the third Whirlwind about to be on the field. I don't know how that thing is still alive. Oh, Vet 3 captain barely gets
I feel
away.
like FeriG is just gearing up for the base inspection. He's just gonna get that critical mass. Werbles are gonna annihilate the bazooka squads and just tank the damage so that the Tiger can roll in unopposed.
In his defense, you can't just like be like, I'm good and hang out against a guy like Ray. You have to make sure you end it.
I'm not saying that this is a bad or dishonorable strategy at all. This is exactly what I would be doing.
Yeah.
I love my base inspections.
Oh, here it is.
You can never let up the pressure. You can never let up the pressure against the top player, or you give them an inch, they take a mile.
This is the full retreat. Breakthrough activated. Oh no. Stas are here as well.
Zooks are caught on retreat.
Yeah, look at this. This is carnage. Some 75 mils.
You're gonna see a satchel charge.
Oh, and FeriG's just he's gonna sacrifice the verbals to get this Tiger in there. The question is, will the sniper survive the dive? Oh my gosh, the Tiger just crushing everything. Zooks do get the verbal. And the sniper, the Vet 3 sniper, still alive.
Stealth is an attitude, fellas. You simply have to conduct yourself in a way that folks don't notice you.
Oh my goodness. FeriG has capped up the entire map. The Tiger now unsupported is going to back up, which is smart. And
Ray's just staying in the game on principle at this point.
Yeah, he can actually call in another easy 8 right now.
Realistically, what good is that going to do? He's got less than a minute left to make something happen.
Yeah, he's trying to get these engineers. Oh, they satchel the machine gun. So he'll at least relieve a little bit of the VP pressure. All these Vet 3 Zooks from having to tangle with a Tiger.
Vet 3 Tiger, mind you.
Yeah, but now every shot from the Tiger hits like an absolute truck. That's another dead Zook squad. It's got the rate
of fire of like a Panzer IV.
Maybe it's not. Wow.
You know what he needs to do is get a recovery vehicle out and restore the Whirlwind. See?
Yeah, actually, that's a fantastic verbal 75 mil. Why are we not seeing the wrecker? Oh, that engineer is gone. Another verbal. And the Tiger's just shrugging off the shots from the Zook squad. Ray out of principle, keeping his sniper alive. 10 seconds left.
Dishonorable to let a Vet 3 sniper with like 50-something kills die.
Yeah. He needs a medal, not a coffin. And yeah. And Ray will surrender at that point with 10 tickets left.
GG.
Well played. All right, we are back. So Jake, we're watching this game and we got the patch dropping in just a couple of days here. No damage reduction changes to the USF HMG. We got some shifts in like the USF timings or earlier BARs, potentially captain available from other support centers, etc. Based on this match, and from what you can tell, the most effective strategies are between USF and Wehrmacht. What do you think? Like, is anything going to come out of the patch? Anything going to change in your mind?
At the highest level, I doubt it. I think at lower levels, you might see a resurgence of rifle spam with the easy accessibility of bars. You could build 5 or 6 rifles in the early game, grab bars, and then you control the whole map, and so the enemy can't even get a light vehicle out. That might be the case
Yeah.
in like sub 1500 game, but I don't think the top players are going to shake up their meta at all. It makes me cry on the inside to know that there's no incoming nerfs to machine guns.
Yeah.
And that this meta is here to stay for the time being. And knowing how infrequently we get patch tunings, that's going to be a while. I really wish that we would just finally see an overhaul to the suppression system. I've been on this soapbox for a while, okay?
Okay.
We need to go back to CoH3 suppression. We need to go back to CoH3 suppression. And what I mean by that is, in CoH2, there are 2 things that are fundamentally different about suppression that make MGs a much healthier unit. That is truly a support weapon tool that needs to be complemented by the rest of an army. First of all, units crawled while suppressed twice as fast. If you want to see what it looks like in a comparable way, the way that like DAC units crawl when they have combined arms is almost the speed of what CoH2 units would crawl normally. So if you dip your toes into an MG's Arc of Fire, you get suppressed, you can back out and it's fine because that was an area denial tool. Now, the other thing that I really enjoyed about CoH2 suppression is that you didn't need to spam machine guns to counter blobs because you only needed 1 if you supported it with infantry. Suppression on a unit would be maintained. Its rate of decay, suppression decay, would be severely reduced if another squad
was shooting at it,
firing at a suppressed unit, which means that if you actually like use combined arms, you get extremely rewarded. So you micro the MG to suppress burst each squad in its arc, and then you use your supporting infantry to keep those units suppressed, and you're good to go. We don't have that here. Suppression only comes from the MG itself, and I don't like the way that works. I think it incentivizes having 3 to 4 MGs instead of 1 MG and a mainline working together, and that's the result. Is this you just get mired in cheese spam, especially with USF, just because they've never been in a very healthy state as far as building a well-rounded combined arms army. And the fact that the USF MG is like what, 220?
No, it's 240. No, it's 240.
Okay. The airborne one for a while was like 220.
Yeah, it was
ridiculously cheap.
Yeah.
And
that's
so
when the HMG was actual garbage, though. Like you were better off throwing, like leaflets out of the airplane than you were.
That is true.
Yeah.
Please go home and march back to Berlin. No. Yeah. The issue, I think it's a serious issue to have MGs be cheaper than mainlines. I get that mainlines have much more utility. They have snares. They don't need to be set up and all that. But if an MG is cheaper than a mainline, especially with the allied factions where the mainlines have to get side techs to actually reach that utility potential, I don't. Why would anybody in their right mind build mainlines?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you saw Ray. Now, granted, there's a lot of micro that goes into this, but Ray, by pairing scouts with MG teams, I mean, he owned the map at the 10-minute mark.
Oh, yeah.
And, it literally took a couple of, it basically took Stosstroopin and a Tiger for FeriG to start to roll him back. And some interesting, we'll call them interesting tech choices and build order choices from Ray to kind of create that opening for him. But that also is kind of part of the problem is like USF, they have to win on tempo because if you let any game go late, like the only way to win in a late game is to have 4 or 5 Shermans and just and just steamroll. But like rifles against Panzer Grenadier, Stosstroopin, especially, they're going to get buffed in the next patch. Like the riflemen don't scale, so that's not really an option. So you are better off playing with MGs and scouts and engineers, and then the Stosstroopin get their like delete machine gun button. And you can buy the veterancy, which is a totally separate issue. Like I always thought that like Wehrmacht is really hard to balance because you have to balance the units as if they already have Vet 1 because you can buy it. I didn't mean to turn this into like a balanced therapy session. But to your point, like I don't think the USF 1v1 meta is going to change. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think early, like lower elo, probably like 1400 elo and below, you're going to see some players just use the early bar rifleman to just run all over you. But if you're an Axis player, especially a Wehrmacht player, you use a battle group well, you survive to like the 12-minute mark, and your opponent invests that heavily into BARs early, you are going to steamroll them and shove them right back into their base.
The manpower issues that come with spamming rifles, and the fact that rifles don't scale into the late game means that you have to basically close the game out at like the 15-minute mark, which makes USF just doesn't feel good to it's not a faction that feels good to play. And I rarely play it anymore outside of random queue because you're forced into a cheese strategy to hope to stand a chance in the late game.
Yeah, I want to blame the fact that I don't play MG spam as the reason that my USF elo is capped at like 1500, but I don't think that's the problem. I would just, we've been over this. Did you see Stephen JF's balance suggestion video?
Not recently.
I would go watch it. He did a great job laying out all of the issues, and unfortunately he did it like 2 days before the devs came out with their video, and they did not address some of the stuff that he was concerned about. They did address some of the other stuff. I'm excited about the changes to like camouflage and breach and all that other stuff. I just
what did they say about breach?
Oh, the breach is going to be useful.
How's it getting reworked?
It's totally changed. Like now, if they hop out of the building, you just immediately occupy it. So your squad doesn't stand there, so you can eat a grenade. All the animations happen faster. Yeah.
I hope they fix the freezing glitch.
They fix that too. That's what they said. Yeah. But all that being said, I like two things coming from this. One, the damage reduction stuff has got to go across the board. You are building in a counter to your hard counter when you provide infantry damage reduction. Please stop it.
Yeah, if I have a walking Stuka and I click on a machine gun and I'm like only 40 range away, that machine gun should be dead.
Yep.
But half of the US players have unlearned the skill of retreating from the sound of an artillery barrage because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They don't get wiped.
Likewise with Guastatori and Stas Troopan. There's no anti-vehicle capability, right? So their hard counter should be mid-game, like light, medium vehicles. Stas Troopan can ignore tanks because they have like a 33% damage reduction on all incoming damage. Plus when the Grenadier merge. Anyway, that's that one thing. The other thing that I would ask for, I know that Relic is a small studio and they've got to already be working on the next project because that's how the business model end of this works, right? So they probably have they have their balance team who's probably doing this part-time. They probably got like 1 or 2 actual on-keyboard devs trying to build through all these patches and help with new content. I got it. I would rather they put out a tiny patch once every 3 to 4 weeks that just nudges the meta a little bit, and then do these bigger patches. Like it could be 6 months. I don't care. But I think you're never going to completely balance a game like this. So to try to do it is kind of folly. I think if instead they just made enough changes that you would kind of just shift the meta and make what's old and new again sort of thing. Like, I think that would actually keep the game from getting stale and make it a lot of fun to play.
Yeah. If you incentivize a more varied, ecosystem of viable builds, people will get bored of the game a lot less often, a lot slower, which means more people are playing your game, more people are microtransacting in your game. Mm-hmm. You're making more money.
Yeah.
I don't see the downside of like having, a very small patch team put out a bi-weekly or 3-week rotating patch schedule. Just changing a few things at a time.
Here's a crazy idea. You could even do it in the theme of like the progression of the war. So over the course of a year, you start with like, all right, we're going to aim towards 1942. So vehicles that were around in early 42 are cheaper. And then as you move later on in the war, you just shift. Like, so every month or so, you're like, all right, now it's summer 42 and these units are now out of style. Like, you could have a theme.
That'd be really cool.
You could have a theme to it. again, I'm just talking now. And like this, to implement this would require a lot more thought and people much smarter than me. But I just think it would be fun. It'd be fun to see, a shifting, creeping meta versus, well, did you spam MGs? No.
That's why you lost.
You lost. Yep. Well, on that note, FeriG didn't spam MGs. We did not see sniper counter sniper, which is unfortunate.
It's close. It's close.
Cool.
Kept me on the edge of my seat. And, props to FeriG for breaking through what is usually an unbreakable wall. Got to give the guy credit for that. It was well played all around.
Yeah, excellent game. Lots of good micro in here. Jake, thank you for taking the time and for the wandering discussion during the cast and afterwards. Coming soon, a Company of Heroes 3 venting podcast hosted by Shark. So if you're interested in that, hit me up in the comments and we'll get that one started. That could be fun to listen to on the way to work. Anything else before we get out of here?
That's all I got. It's been an honor.
Cool. Well, thanks, dude. Look forward to doing more of this after the patch drops. That's going to do it for us here, folks. We'll see y'all in the next one.